Apogee Live with your hosts Greg, Cindy, and Daniel.
Join the video conference
And talk affiliate marketing each week with up to 50 others.
Let's start the show.
Welcome, everyone, to Apogee Live. It's another conversation with affiliates. This week, we have the full Apogee crew, and we are also joined by Jerry Becker from the California Wine Club. So we'll get to her in just a second. Let's introduce the Apogee team. Daniel, say hello.
Hello.
Cindy, are you there?
Hello.
And Kristen has a baby, and she's on mute today. So you could just wave. All right, so this is just a basic conversation with one of our merchants. This is the first time we've been able to bring a merchant onto the Zoom call. I basically told Jerry that this is just like when we were at Think Tank, where she was just going to sit down, have a nice chat with affiliates, talk about the company, talk about the products, and then be able to answer any questions that the affiliates have specifically for her company. If there's any questions regarding the affiliate program, that's what Cindy and I are here for. So it's going to be a nice, casual conversation. And now I would like to introduce Jerry Becker from the California Wine Club. Hello, Jerry.
Hey, Greg. Good morning, everyone.
So, yeah, it is morning on your side, afternoon over here on the East Coast. So tell us your story after you take a sip.
Well, that's work. There's always work to be done. Well, I think obviously everyone here knows the story of the California Wine Club, but for anybody who's going to be watching this later, the story of the California Wine Club is we're actually one of the first wine clubs ever. We've been around since 1990. That'll be, 27 years? 27 years this June. And the club was started really with the intent to help small family winemakers share their wines with people across the country. Bruce and Pam Boring are the founders of the club, and early on they discovered that the best wines available were not found in stores. In fact, there's a great story. They were up in near the Mendocino area, and they were at this little winery called Hanley Cellars, and they had been wine drinkers, for years, like all of us. We love a glass of wine, and what they found is that the wines they liked best were wines that friends recommended to them. Most often, if they went to the grocery store and tried to pick out a bottle of wine, they'd bring it home, they'd take a sip and go, "Oh, this is disgusting," and dump it down the sink. So one weekend they were wine tasting. They went into this little winery called Hanley Cellars. Milla Hanley, the winemaker and the founder, and they tasted the wine and they went, "Oh my God, this is incredible. We're down in the LA area. Tell me where I can get it." And Milla kind of laughed and she said, "Well, you can't. You can only get it here." The challenge, or the problem, if it was a problem, and the benefit for us is that she makes so little wine that it's really not distributed outside the winery, outside her area. And that's the same for thousands of winemakers all over California. They just don't make enough for distributors to pick up their wine and then, of course, put it on store shelves. So that was sort of a light bulb moment for Bruce and Pam. They realized, wow, the best wines are coming from these little wineries. And they set out to seek them out. And literally what we do is get in the car and drive north. We're in, just south of Santa Barbara. So we drive north and we're just looking for little wineries, little small winemakers that don't get the recognition that they should. They're handcrafting incredible wines. They're doing it because they love it. It's a passion. But you can't find them. If you're a wine consumer and you don't live near them, you're sort of out of luck. So that's what we do. Every month, feature a new winery, hand select wines from them, and then, of course, send those to members all across the country. And then we include, oh, look at that. It's like a prop. Uncorked. This is a full color, about 16-page publication that, are you guys seeing that backwards?
No, it's just your
We're
camera.
Okay, it's just me seeing it backwards.
I can read it.
You can? Okay. So it has the story on the family, tasting notes. There's a map. Usually there's pictures. Oh yeah, there's a map right there on how to get to the winery. And we have 5 club levels. So in Uncorked every month, you get to read all about the wineries and the wines that we're featuring in every single club level. We have international wines, wines from Washington and Oregon, except for this month, these are extra recipes, so ignore that page, and the aged Cabernet. So anyway, that's it. And it is a real joy and pleasure to do what we do because we're doing it for the wineries. We hear, I talk to the wine, I should turn my camera around so you can see my board. In front of me is sort of a working board of different wineries that I've talked to, samples that are coming in, wines that we're considering. I also should have brought in a case of empties from my truck. I should have done that because we reject a lot of wines, a lot, and we really are tasting and drinking a lot of wines. I know that's difficult, but just as many great wines as we find, we have to turn down many wines. And we're ultimately looking for wines that we know our members are going to love. And we know that winemakers are going to be proud to share. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Was that longer than you wanted, Greg?
No, that's good.
Okay. That's
good. So what is your number one bestseller?
It depends. They're all bestsellers. Gosh, I think members always want variety, right? They always, they want to see a Petite Syrah one month and a Zinfandel the next month, and they want variety. That's true. But if we feature a Cab and a Chard, without fail, the Cab and the Chard sells out. So number one bestseller, every month there's a different number one bestseller. I don't have an answer for you because they're all great. And just when you think you've found a favorite, another wine comes out and now that's your new favorite.
Plus your supply is limited, correct?
Yeah, that helps, right? I mean, we sell out and then, sorry, that one's gone, that's a big benefit for members. Most normal people, you guys are all normal, drink more than 2 bottles a month, at least people I know. Right, Jessica?
Oh, yeah, at least.
So the great thing is that, members can get their first 2 bottles, figure out which ones they really love, and then if they want more of those bottles, they can reorder them at up to 50% off winery retail, plus members get dollar shipping. So to your point, Cindy, we have a finite number of cases available, and often those sell out pretty darn quickly because, members are buying them up for reorder. And so once it's gone, it's gone.
So I just saw a question come in from Marion. She wanted to know if you normally have recipes in your catalog, or is that something?
So in Uncorked, every month we always have pairing suggestions. So we're advising you on what food to pair with each wine. And then on our blog, every single month, we post new recipes from the winemaker specifically. So if you go to our website, cawineclub.com, it's in the upper right-hand corner. It says Uncorked the blog. I think that's where it is. I don't have it up. And then there's one that says tips and recipes. If you click on that, there's a gazillion recipes. When we publish recipes in Uncorked, depends on the wines that we're featuring. We have 16 pages to fill, and our Pacific Northwest series doesn't ship every month. So in off months, we'll fill it with recipes because we have oodles and oodles of recipes from winemakers. So yes, we have recipes every month. No, not every month do they appear in Uncorked.
And I think the next question would be, could the affiliates talk about those recipes? And I would say yes, as long as they give attribution to the California Wine Club.
Yeah, heck yeah. And everybody loves recipes. There's years worth of years and years worth of recipes on the website. So if you need last minute content or it's there. Go to not just the blog, but the tips and the recipe section on our website. You'll have more content than you will know what to do with.
All right, so let's talk about something that you and I talked about at length when we first started working together several years ago. What is the name of your company?
It's the capital T-H-E California Wine Club.
And why did we have such a long conversation about that?
Because there are other wine clubs out there who have, we'll call it club levels, called California Wine Club level. And so we're not just a California Wine Club, we are the California Wine Club. So using an uppercase T on the word the is very important.
Cindy and I have been talking to affiliates since the beginning about that very issue, and we have gone through and we have corrected it as many times as we possibly could.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We'll walk into a meeting with ShareASale at Affiliate Summit and talk to Tiffany or Brian or anybody. And if your name comes up, it's always the California Wine Club.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing we're talking about doing with our logo, which is trademarks. You have to be careful on how much you got to be careful. But one thing we're talking about is just see the word "the" is kind of small and buried. We need to get that out more. And I'm sure all the affiliates would like an easier logo to work with, right, Jessica?
Jerry, I have a question for you because I'm sure some of the affiliates are probably thinking this too. It's the California Wine Club, but you've also expanded over the years, and you now have, I guess it's the Northwest Series, and you have the International. How does that impact that with you having that name, the California Wine Club? How do they go about promoting it so that people don't think it's just California wines, since some people also want international wines or the Northwest Pacific wines?
So that's a good question, and the affiliate can position it based on the intent of the page, based on the keywords. So for example, if you are writing a blog post or you have a review about Washington and Oregon wines, then I would put the focus on, try wines from the Pacific Northwest Series, brought to you by the California Wine Club. You could do it that way. Again, same idea if you're talking about a France or the French countryside, you could talk about French wines from the International Series, brought to you by the California Wine Club. So the California Wine Club doesn't have to be front and center if your focus is on something other than California wine. But otherwise, if it's just on wine clubs in general, then the positioning would be, the California Wine Club has 5 club levels to choose from. So California wine is our specialty, but over the years, with the International Club and the Pacific Northwest Club, members asked, we started those clubs because of members. Members said, hey, I really want to get into some international wines, but I'm not having any luck. Can you help direct me? And we thought, heck yeah, we love international wines. Why don't we start an international wine club level? So we did that. And then same thing with the Pacific Northwest Series. We started getting a lot of feedback from members asking for help choosing Washington and Oregon wines. Plus that whole area is growing. There's tons of buzz and lots of great wines coming out of there. So that's how those 2 clubs got started. But position it either way.
Cindy, could you read off the question from Jessica, or Jessica, could you just ask your question?
Sure, I wasn't sure what the etiquette here was with that.
That's fine.
Jerry, I'm curious, do you buy for a particular palate? Or, how do you kind of manage, everybody has a different palate and you're only shipping out 2 wines in the Premier Series. How do you sort of juggle that aspect of it?
So that's a good question, and as funny as it is to say that that's the hard part of the job, that really is the hard part of the job. Generally speaking, our members prefer drier wines. We have experimented with a variety of sweet wines, or what I would call wines lending to the sweeter side, and they just don't go off as well. Rosé is a perfect example. Rosé is going crazy. Rosé is the hot wine. It's getting all the press and all the publicity. So last summer, we featured a couple different rosés. people liked them, but the real gauge is reorder. Like how many people are reordering, and they just weren't. They weren't selling on reorder. So when it comes to choosing the wine, ultimately, bottom line is what we're looking for is wines we know our members are going to love and the best representation of that winery. We have had over the years wineries at the last minute come to me and say, you know what, I know we decided on this Pinot Noir and I know you liked it at the time, but I just don't like the direction that's going in right now. So can we switch out the wine? And that's sort of a mind-blowing concept, because when you think of a wine store or even some of the other wine clubs, you know, they're a source for wineries to move excess inventory. They're a source for wineries to move wines that they may not be able to sell on their own. The relationships that we have with the wineries, to them, it's important that the wine you get is wine that you're going to love because it's a reflection on them. So when we're choosing wine, we taste them blind. We do taste them over a couple of days. We know, you know, for example, okay, this is a wine that we're considering for the International Club, or this is a wine we're considering for Signature Series. But beyond that, we don't know anything else. And the reason we do that, and you all are probably guilty of it too, is we are so influenced by the price of the wine, the awards and reviews on the wine, what someone else thinks of the wine. And especially we're influenced by the winemaker themselves, which is why when we're out on the road tasting wine and we're sitting on a beautiful deck overlooking this incredible vista of vineyards and the winemaker pours you a glass of wine, of course it's going to be excellent. We never ever make the decision then and there to feature the wine. We always go home and come back to the environment of tasting it blind, because it's you're susceptible. Of course, when the winemaker's hanging over you and wants to know what you think, and you're surrounded by this, you know, beautiful vineyard, everything's going to taste great. So choosing the wines is difficult because there's a broad range of palates to consider. You have to be able to recognize Petite Syrah, for example. When I was in my 20s, all I wanted to drink was Petite Syrah. Petite Syrah. Now that won't be the first wine that I go to, but I recognize that we have members who like Petite Syrah. I recognize that, you know, it's a wine to feature. So if I'm tasting Petite Syrah, for example, I have to recognize this may not be a wine that I'll choose to drink tonight, but I can recognize that it's a quality wine. So there's a lot of factors to consider, but ultimately is it good? Does it make me want to take another sip?
But all your wines are 100% guaranteed, correct?
All of our wines come with a love it guarantee, which is better than a satisfaction guarantee, because it really is personal to us. We want you to love it. And if you don't love it, we're going to send you something else or refund your money, or, you know, ultimately we want you to be happy. And that's because usually they're drinking wines with friends. They're sharing their wine, you know, with the people that they know. And over the 27 years that we've been in business, the biggest reason for our growth is word of mouth. People like what they taste and they tell their friends. So yeah, we want you to love it.
So just to remind everyone, you can ask questions right now. It's all going to be recorded, or you can wait for about another 10, 15 minutes and ask anything that you don't want to be live on the internet for the rest of eternity. So this is a great time to ask for any of the affiliates that are on the call to either type in questions or raise your hand, and because there's a little function in Zoom where you can raise your hand and ask a question. So
how about I just start talking?
All right, Mike's got the
floor. So what is the affiliate offer? Is it is it for a monthly club? Is it individual bottle of wines? Because it sounded like you had both. So like what is the offer and how does that work?
So yes, and yes. We have typically an offer for people looking to join the club for themselves. There's no obligation. People can stay as long as they want. They just bill as they go. So we call that a monthly member. Month to month they get charged. Month to month they get the wine. There's also offers and discounts for gifts. So, everybody at one point usually needs to send a gift to someone. You can send as many months as you want, 1 to 12 months, and there's offers for those. And then there are offers for reorders, half case or full case reorders. There's always something going on. And if we don't have an offer that an affiliate wants, guess what? We can create it. I mean, as long as it's within the realm of the discounts we're giving away on other channels, we can create it. So if you have an idea for an offer, then, let Greg or Cindy know, and we'll come up with something that's unique for that affiliate.
Cool.
I'm going to jump in here and say that I love working with Jerry because her and Karen's her right hand. They give me monthly deals for you guys every month. I don't have to beg them. I don't have to wait around. I get them well in advance, and I get them put into ShareASale, and they're there for you guys to grab. We put them out in the newsletter, so everybody should read their newsletter. But if you don't happen to get it, they will be in ShareASale, but there will be something every month for affiliates for deals. And generally, there's club deals, and there's also the half case and case deals like we have going on right now until the end of the month. So there's always great deals for the affiliates to promote.
I saw a couple questions come by. Lynn, what was your question?
I was just wondering if they had ever considered a club more suited towards the sweet wine lover, seeing as they kind of more tend to go towards the drier wines. Just because personally, I tend to go that way. I'm more of a sweet wine lover than I am a dry wine.
So does Cindy.
Yes. And I've asked her this, so they have taken care of it.
Yeah, we have experimented with sweeter wines. And in fact, that link that Karen just sent you, Cindy, I think it still has it, like the Sweet Sippers or something like that on it. Yeah.
Right. It's not a club, though.
Not a club, because there's just not enough interest for a sweeter club, at least in our market. So we have tried to introduce limits. We've tried to see if there's interest, and Cindy's asked that because she's a sweet wine lover too. So just didn't get enough interest.
Okay, and so that you can order without having to be a member of a club, correct?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your case and half case and your reorders, also you don't have to be a member of a club to get, right?
You don't have to be a member, but you have to pay for shipping. So if you're a member, when you reorder, shipping's only $1, whether it's a half case or a full case. So if you're not a member, shipping on a full case is $37, which is lower than winery standards, and probably obviously higher than Amazon standards. So it's worth it to be a member. I think it's a minimum of just 2 shipments a year. So if you just get 2 regular club shipments a year, that's enough to keep your membership status active, and that's enough to get you dollar shipping. So you may not like the wines that come, the 2 times per year, but you can re-gift them. You can have them for, parties, that kind of thing. Plus, don't forget, your membership comes with Uncorked. So you can learn about wine and wine country and wine insider information. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of, most members tell us, for 2 shipments a year to get dollar shipping, it's kind of worth it, especially for those people that want like you're saying, Lynn, I want a particular wine, or for those members who say, heck, 2 bottles a month isn't enough. I need a couple cases a month. So.
Okay.
Anne, you had a question?
You're muted, Anne. Oh.
I think her mic's out.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
She posted it in the chat, so somebody could read it.
That's okay. Her question was, what are the best gift-giving holidays for giving the gift of yeah,
Sorry.
the California Wine Club?
Work with me here. Work with me.
All right.
Now we hear you.
Any outside of the box ideas for? Oh, now we can hear you.
Okay.
I'm going to finish anyway.
Yes.
Any outside of the box ideas for occasions to promote?
So Mother's Day is coming up, so wine's kind of natural because kids make us drink. But are there any other holidays where it will be natural to talk about wine and wine gifting?
Lots. So obviously Christmas. Yeah, obviously Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Those are the three biggest. But the Administrative Professional Day, Boss's Day, those are actually pretty big. Valentine's Day, those are big. I think, though, when it comes to gifting, two channels or two markets, I guess, that are really popular for gifting is anyone in the real estate industry. We have, probably giving out trade secrets here, but real estate agents, they're always closing homes and they always need a closing gift. So those are really, really popular if you're ever planning a post around buying a house or decorating a house, or just to even drop that idea. Real estate agents they make good gift givers. But pretty much graduation is a big deal too, college graduation. Thank you gifts, birthday. I mean, gifts are popular all year long. Every occasion is a good one.
Wedding and anniversaries.
Oh yeah, weddings. Weddings are huge.
Yep.
Great time.
Yeah.
You could think outside the box as well. You know, it wasn't too long ago that pairing Girl Scout cookies with wine was unheard of. And now it seems like anytime, every year Girl Scout cookie season rolls around, I always see at least a couple of posts that talk about which wine to pair with Girl Scout cookies.
Or Easter candy.
Yeah.
Why not Easter candy? Exactly.
They're
right.
coming out with pink, what are those candies that are wrapped? Oh gosh. They're coming out with
Ferrero-Rochers.
Not Peeps. Oh, I'm totally blank right now. But there's a candy that's sold in a package with multiple flavors, and they're coming out with just pink. And if I liked candy better, it would come to me. I'll think of it.
I think one of our most popular social posts organically was Christmas cookies and wine. So, and that totally fits the personality of the California Wine Club, because we are not wine snobs at all. If you want to have, and we encourage you to have your Friday night glass of wine with pizza, have it with popcorn, have it with potato chips, M&Ms, Girl Scout cookies, whatever. If you like it, then it's a good pairing.
So a thought on wines and weddings, just coming from the wedding space, like engagements or weddings, you can definitely gift like a case or a half case of wine. And then say, pick a bottle for each different stage of the engagement, like you've booked your venue, have a bottle of wine, whatever. And then you can do the same thing with weddings, gift a case of wine for weddings, and have a bottle for your first fight, have a bottle once you've celebrated 1 month of marriage. And you can kind of break it down that way. I think I've had a couple conversions with California Wine Club, or did with Broke Ass Bride, as a result of suggesting something along those lines. So, and I know that a lot more couples are actually doing that, stocking away bottles of wine for just that reason during their engagements and weddings.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And even like you said, one case of wine as a wedding gift given with the intention of, every month on, your wedding date anniversary, you're going to open a bottle and, celebrate your anniversary. I think that's a great idea and fun. And it's meaningful. I mean, most people getting married these days, they don't need a blender or a toaster. They're looking for something to enrich their lives and their relationship. And wine is a good way to do that.
Let me give everybody a couple tips as the affiliate manager. We are always trying to encourage affiliates to promote the club, not just as gift items, but we want the customers to buy for themselves. So we're not going to mention any numbers right now, but we do have some bonuses out there for affiliates that convince the customer to buy a case a club for themselves. So we'll talk about the numbers when we go off air. But in your regular promotions, whatever you're talking about, make sure you tell them to buy for themselves. And also, you can, especially in the holiday season, we have seen some good promotions where affiliates are talking about the gift items for on a corporate level. So the secretaries of the world, or the real estate agents, the people that are the corporate buyers, human resources, whoever those people are, if they happen to go by your site, let them know, because some of those orders are huge. We have seen orders in the thousands of dollars, especially in November, December, because it's one of those last minute items that the HR department is like, all right, we're just going to buy some wine clubs, and the right affiliate can pre-sell that idea to that corporate person looking for those gift items.
I have a question. Sort of along the lines of promoting, getting people to buy or join the wine club for themselves. A lot of the competition in the space is really focusing on 12-bottle case clubs, or even at least 4 bottles per shipment. Some of it is to distribute the cost of shipping so that you're paying less per bottle to ship it. Do you have any plans or thoughts around whether or not you could offer a bigger shipment?
So we do offer 4-bottle shipments now, 4 bottles with free shipping. There may be a landing page that we set up. I don't know. I have to link. I have to look, Cindy. It's not prominent on our website because of the way the website is set up. I know you've asked about this before. It's something that we have thought about doing, offering a 12-bottle. I'd be willing to test it. Because we don't, from the feedback that we get from our members, and when we're polling members, we're not getting a lot of interest. But I'd be willing to test it, Jessica, with your audience, and just to see, maybe there is a group out there that wants it, but it's not with who we currently have.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Cindy, do we have anything to talk about for offers this month, or did you already mention those?
She's muted.
Hang on.
A full case. You know what?
Start over. I had to unmute your
my
microphone.
phone was ringing again, so I had to mute myself. It wasn't the dog barking this time. It was the phone ringing. But we do have some offers out there. And I did want to back up for a second, too, on Greg, on what you said about making purchases for yourself, because we do keep a link in ShareASale that anybody that is making a purchase from themselves, they need to use that particular link so that you can get the bonuses. So that is in ShareASale for everybody to post on their sites whenever they are doing any promoting or doing a blog or something about, hey, purchase a club for yourself. So you want to make sure you use that link that's in there. But we do have some specials going on, and we also have an affiliate exclusive in there that will stay. I think we're running it just a couple months maybe. I don't know that we want to go into the percentages and everything off on the video here, but we do have some promotions going on right now and ShareASale. So I also post them in the Apogee site on Facebook. So make sure that you are a member in there, because I normally post those a day in advance. So you get a little heads up from in there as opposed to all the other affiliates.
That's right. Thank you, Cindy. Do any of the affiliates have any questions they want to ask now? If not, we're going to end the conversation recording, and then we'll go off air.
How about copy material? Is there anything that is made specifically for affiliates? Is there a standard, like here's the copy for this, here is what you can say about that, or can we do anything custom?
You can certainly do anything custom. We haven't put anything out there in bulk content because their blog is so extensive. Yeah. You can go through their blog and find anything. They're the subject matter experts on this. So, but if you need anything specifically, we can help with specific content. We just don't put out generic content for everyone to provide, but we can certainly work with you.
Okay.
Marion, just go ahead, Jerry.
I was going to say, definitely use the blog, Kristen. There's a blog we do weddings in wine country. There's tons of those. We do family-friendly wineries to visit, wineries, dog-friendly wineries for the animal lover, Cindy. So, feel free to, search to your heart's content on the blog. And if you have an idea for something and you don't find the content on our website, definitely email Cindy. Email me, because it could very well be that we have it somewhere already, and I'm happy to share.
Marion just asked if there was any social media that would not be allowed. No, there is not. You can promote on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere that allows affiliate links, as long as you follow the FTC disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about the recipes were mentioned earlier. Are the recipes food pairings, or are they cooking with wine? And in either case, are new recipes that are posted relating to specific wines that are currently being offered?
So yes to all of those questions. The new recipes that are being posted typically come from the winemakers or the wineries, and they are specific to the wines that we're pairing from that winery. Most often, wine is in the recipe because it just makes a good addition to whatever it is you're cooking. So yes, and in addition to the recipes, there's pairings. So for example, a winery might recommend that this Pinot Grigio go with a crab salad and maybe a grilled chicken and shrimp shish kebabs. He won't have all three recipes, but maybe one of the three, and then tips on what else to pair it with. Does that answer your question, Philip?
Yep, thanks.
Okay.
All right, anyone else? No? All right, we're going to go off air and we're going to ask Jerry some really good questions now. All right, thank you everyone for joining Apogee Live.
Thank you.
This was
Apogee Live. Apogee Live. Visit apogeeagency.com/clients to view our list of managed affiliate programs.
Remember to hit reply on any of our emails and we'll respond.
See you next week.